Hello guys, Shubhankar Mishra here, and last time we learned how to make a simple calculator in Python. Today we're going to be learning conditional statements in Python. So let's get right into it. Before moving on to conditional statements, let's know what statements are if you don't know already. Statements are basically instructions we give in Python in the source code, and it gives us an output in the object code. So let's say if I want x to be 10 or 12, and then I wanted to print out x, and then I wanted to run this over here, so it gives us 12 over here. So this is happening because we are telling Python to, or instructing Python to assign 12 to x, and we're also instructing Python to print out the x value over here. Pretty simple example of what a statement is in Python. So let's get started into the main part today, which is conditional statements in Python. So a conditional statement is when we want to give a certain condition, and if that is true, we execute a set of code, and if that is false, we execute another set of code. So the first thing we're going to be learning is the if statement over here. So if statement is when a condition is true condition, and then we put a colon semicolon on the back, and then we tell it to do something over here. So it should be like print. So if the condition over here is true, then we'll do the set of action, we a course of action we set it up for here. So to show you guys an example, I want x to be 12 and I want y to be 110. So if x is bigger than y, then I want it to print out x is bigger than y. Pretty simple, right? So when we run this, x is bigger than y because this is true. But if we change this a bit like 11, then it won't do anything over here because we didn't mention it to do something else if the condition will be false. So if statement is when a condition is true, it'll execute a set of action given to it over here. Pretty basic, right? Now let's get on to the if else statement. So if else statement is when we want to give two conditions to Python. So if this is true, then I want to do this, and if this is false, then I want it to do this. To give you guys a simple example, let's make a input over here, enter a number, and then y over here, int input, enter another number. So now let's get on to the if else part. So if x is bigger than y, then I want it to print out x is bigger than y. But if x is not bigger than y, then I go on to the start of the line over here and not over here, and then I write else, and I don't mention a condition over here, and then I wanted to print out x is not bigger than y. 12, 23. X is not bigger than y, which is executing over here because this is false over here. And when I do this 12, 1, then x is bigger than y. This becomes true and it's executing this set of code over here. So there was one more thing we need to do, which was the else statement. So we use elifs when, or the if elif and else statement when we need to mention multiple conditions, and if and else just can't handle it. So to show the syntax of this, it's pretty easy too. So if condition over here and the semicolon over here, and then I wanted to do something over here, and then the next thing is elif. So elif, it's basically else and if, which is else and if. We don't do it like else if or if else. So in this also we have to mention a condition over here, which is the other condition. and then we also put the semicolon. It's pretty much the same thing as the if condition, only except that we are mentioning some other condition. The last one is the else statement, where we just don't need to mention any condition over here, and we just wanted to um, like carry out some set of code. To show you guys an example, let's take int input, enter a number, and then my variable over here, int input, enter another number. And now we go to the conditional part, where if x is bigger than y, then I want you to print out x is bigger than y. And if that is not true, then I wanted to make out another condition, which is if x is equal to y, then I wanted to print out x is equal to y. And if that is also not true, then I wanted to print out um, y is bigger than x. So this is a pretty simple example of if, elif and else statement. So when I run this, I should be able to enter a number. And then let's get with the first one first, which is if statement over here. So as this is true, as x is bigger than y, it is printing out x is bigger than y over here. Now the second thing we're going to do is the equal to part. So enter. So now it's printing, and so now it's executing this part, because this is not true, but this is true. This condition over here is true over here. So now it's executing this, so this code over here. And now if this is also not true, if x is smaller than y, then it's printing out this set of code over here, which is the else part. So this is conditional statements in Python. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.